Your directorial debut.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the pressures maybe that you're feeling going into it with such a phenomenal cast also? Does that maybe make it easier for you too?
It makes it easier and harder, right? So it's a little bit easier because, these are incredibly gifted actors who I don't need to sort of necessarily, you know, note and give and sort of like direct in the way that you might need to with an actor who's just starting out. But that said, it's also incredibly intimidating because these are people who have worked with some of the biggest talents in the world. Jeffrey Wright has worked on James Bond movies and Batman movies, and he's worked with Wes Anderson. Like, he's worked with sort of like these gigantic names, and Sterling and Tracy. Like, these are people who are nominated for Emmys, who've won multiple Emmys. Like, these are just incredibly gifted and seasoned performers. And so, on the one hand, it's like, yes, it's great. I'm so happy that I had them, but also it was kind of terrifying every day to go. It's a terrifying experience to have to go up to Jeffrey and give him a note on his acting. The guy's in Angels in America on Broadway. That's the first thing that I saw him in. And so, yeah, just to be in their presence is just to be in front of them is a little intimidating. But also, yeah, the greatest thing about them is that despite all of their success and their pedigree, they're all just the most generous actors in the world. Super collaborative, super supportive of me, knowing that it was my first directing job. It was a lovely experience.
And then you were taking quite the task to deliver kind of a message that maybe a lot of people might not get, but you're delivering it along with comedy.
Yeah.
Can you just describe what it's like to do something serious but delivering it with comedy?
Yeah. I think that, for me, life is neither a comedy nor a drama. I think that it is, even in the worst of moments in my life, there's been moments of levity and times when I've laughed and enjoyed time with my friends and family, and just found ways to enjoy myself. And, again, and even in the best moments of my life, the highest highs, there's been moments of tragedy and pitfalls. And so for me, I wanted to make something that reflected that. I didn't want to make something that felt super morose, despite the fact that we're dealing with serious issues. I think that we're always dealing with serious issues. Everybody's always dealing with serious issues, but that doesn't mean that we can't find joy. And in fact, I think it means we need to find joy in our lives. I think that times are very difficult for people in many, many different ways. We're very polarized. We're very atomized. We're very divided. We're a very divided group of people these days. And I think that, if all we do is dwell on the darkest parts and sort of don't find ways to laugh, then that's when we've truly lost the plot.
And now people might go into the movie thinking one thing but come out realizing something else.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what message do you want them to really take?
That's the thing with the movie, is I don't want them to take a message. I think that sort of like the point of the movie is that I didn't want to make something that spoon-fed anybody answers and sort of like gave them a moral lesson. That was sort of not what I set out to do. My favorite art doesn't do that. My favorite art kind of presents a series of ideas and characters and situations to people, and then lets them walk away with their own understanding of it, or sort of like their own discussion that they can have with their friends and family about it. That to me is one of the things that I really like about the art that I love. And so I don't want whatever a person walks away from the movie with is entirely fine. I think that all I would hope for is that I think that a metric of success to me for a piece of art always is how frequently I think about it after I'm done consuming it. So, if I'm thinking about a movie weeks or years later, a book weeks or years later, after I've consumed it, then that to me is sort of like a metric of quality. And so, the thing that I would love for this film is I hope people go see it, and my dream would be that once they see it, they need to go get lunch or dinner with a friend that they saw it with to talk about it, because it's sort of like they want to toss it over in their mind a little bit more. That to me is what I hope for. I don't hope that anybody takes away a specific moral or lesson, though.